And so, from a very young age, I was being told we need to take over the Supreme Court in order to get abortion banned. As a child growing up, my mom, I may have mentioned this before, but my mom was an anti-abortion activist. And so she was trying to get abortion banned in our state. And, when I was a child, and so she was organizing for all of that. And if, folks know about Phyllis Schlafly, who is like an anti-feminist organizer, agitator, and her organization, Eagle Forum, my mom was involved in that. And so, from a very young age, I was being told we need to take over the Supreme Court in order to get abortion banned. I was told when I was single digits, it was really important to have really big families so that you could have a lot of Republican votes.
Right.
And, my mom, especially, like my mom more than my dad, but my mom especially, it was like everything that like the Republicans are now is what I was being taught as a small child. And so I kind of have, and this is something we talk about a lot about on Go Home Bible You're Drunk, we have this really interesting kind of lens on things because they are a lot of the people who started these conversations and started framing this narrative. They did not live to see their successes, but
Right.
They are succeeding. But it was actually those particular people were sort of like lost in the wilderness before they found that particular narrative to glom onto and to start reproducing and fomenting in churches, especially post segregation, right? Like they had originally been advocating for segregation. And once they lost that, they kind of had to pivot to something else that was a little more politically correct, I guess. And it was like, obviously it was going to be like taking rights away from women, right? And because everyone can agree on patriarchy. And so that was really like that was where and how I came up. I was like really sort of not on purpose. I didn't consent to any of it, but like in the trenches
Right.
of these narratives being crafted. And it really kind of sucks that like by the time I got out of that and it was like, oh, I'm an atheist, I don't believe any of this anymore, that they like started having all of these political wins.